I've got your back. I'll head back home if you need me.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Couldn't ask for better weather.
Don't mind Boland. He's young and gets riled easily.
Food, warm drinks, and warm beds. Welcome to Dead Man's Drink.
At some point, we should hire Tekla on here.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Serving Thadgeir.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Excuse me, sir. I don't normally do this, but, have you got a moment to talk? Flirt? No, that wasn't my intention. Not at all. I just meant I have a proposition for you. No, not that kind of proposition. I meant I'd like to do business with you. Not like that. Can we start again? Oh, thank the divines. Right, let's have another go. My name is Lucien Flavius. I'm a scientist, philosopher, amateur wizard, and something of a musician, though I suppose that's more of a hobby. I couldn't help noticing that you seem... how can I put this? Well acquainted with the less savory side of Skyrim? As a matter of fact, I do. I'm here in Skyrim on an expedition, academic mainly. I find the province simply fascinating. The flora, the fauna, the ruins, both Dwemer and Nordic, the architecture, the politics. Trouble is, I'm really not much of a fighter. I know a few spells and can just about swing a sword, but beyond that, I'm pretty useless in combat. Skyrim's no place for a milk drinker like me. Not on my own, anyway. So, I'm looking for someone to travel with. I suppose what I'm asking is, would you awfully mind if I tag along? I will of course compensate you most handsomely for putting up with me.
I wish I could afford to pay.
Oh, shall we say 300 septims up front? After that, I'll top you up every time we come across something useful to my research. At your discretion, of course. No obligations, save that you take me with you, and assist in keeping me alive wherever possible. Oh, splendid. Here's your gold. This is going to be quite the adventure. It's a pleasure to meet you. Lead on. How can I help you? Hit me. Not literally. So many things. The culture, the architecture, but most of all, the enormous Dwemer presence here. The technology the dwarves possessed all those years ago is miles beyond us, even today. The chance to study it in person, I just couldn't resist. Cyrodiil, though I suppose you could probably guess that. I grew up in the Imperial City, mostly with my nose in a book. My family own a small amount of property there, and they always encourage me to pursue my interests. Namely, knowledge, in all its forms. I spent some time at the Arcane University, a couple of years at the archives of White Gold Tower, and I've studied at every academy in the city. But no amount of academic knowledge can compare to some practical experience. I'm done reading about the world. Now I want to see it. Oh, the Flaviuses are firmly rooted in the Imperial City. We've always had a strong sense of home. We're a tight-knit bunch, and we get on rather well most of the time. They worry, though. Particularly about me. Gave them quite a shock when I told them about this expedition. Davidicus is his name. He's an academic like me, always up to his elbows in old scrolls. He does a lot of consultancy work for the Imperial government. Hunts down relics for them, that sort of thing. I'd be lying if I said we always saw eye to eye, but I owe a lot to him, and he's very dear to me. Captain Lyra of the Imperial Legion. She and I couldn't be more different, but she's always supported me in everything I've done. She fought against the Thalmor in the Great War. In fact, she was there for Lord Nurofin's defeat at the Battle of the Red Ring. She retired to marry my father and raise me. But despite her career, she never tried to force me onto the same path. By the time I was old enough to hold a book, it was clear I was going to follow my father into the academic world. And she was delighted for me. I write to her fairly regularly. My father too. And while she worries, I think she's proud of me for doing this. I hope so, anyway. None. I was the proverbial apple of my parents' proverbial eyes. And yes, they spoiled me rotten. Sometimes I wonder what it would have been like to have had a brother or a sister. But then I wouldn't be quite who I am today. So I can't complain. Alright then. Ask away. Absolutely not. I've tried. Divines know I've tried. But I just can't get the knack. Every single horse I've ever tried to ride just throws me off. Or maybe I just fall off. The point is, I can't ride. Maybe one day I'll learn, but today is sadly not that day. Now that you mention it, I suppose there is. Somewhere here in Skyrim, there's a Dwemer ruin called Doomsbethar. I came across a text referring to it in my last few months at the Arcane University. Dwemerus is a fiddly language. Often the same words can have multiple meanings, but I'm fairly sure it translates loosely to bound ghosts. It piqued my curiosity. The use of soul gems in Dwemer automatons is well documented, but no one really knows much about their purpose or function. I thought perhaps this place of bound ghosts might be something to do with that, so I did some more research, but I just can't find the location. My father's looking into it for me while I'm here on my expedition. If he finds anything, he's going to let me know. Alright then. Let's get back to it. Yes, boss? Any chance of a helmet? Could really use one the next time a bandit takes a swing at my skull. What's next? Hag ravens are downright
Be careful.
nasty. But I suppose it's worth tangling with them for a good cause like the Gildergreen.
Good to see you again.
Greetings. Take whatever you need. Sure, let's trade. And away we go.
At some point, we should hire Tekla on here. If she could just spend.
Unless you intend to bury someone, this isn't the place you're looking for, traveler. No, Falkreath is known for its graveyard, traveler. We've buried more dead than you can imagine. I just finished giving my old war companion Barrett a proper burial by fire. Old Hardhead hated the idea of being lost cold in the ground. Could you deliver the ashes to Runil, the priest of Arkay? He'll know the right blessings to make for Barrett's soul. Thank you. All right, then. Falkreath was once full of wanderers and warriors like yourself. Those were better days.
Did you know Falkreath used to be a part of Cyrodiil? If it was as dreary then as it is now, I'm not surprised we let the place go.
The god Arkay was once like us, bound to winding mortality, but he willingly gave up this existence that we might better understand the vagaries of life and death. It is through the ebb and flow of this cosmic tide that we find renewal, and in the end, peace. May the spirit of Lavinia and all those who have left this world and its suffering know the beloved serenity of Aetherius, and may we one day rejoin them in eternity.
A sad...
Honest pay for honest work. Honest pay for honest work. Be seeing ya.
Gust is responsible for the cemetery here in Falkreath. I take care of the shrine. Ah, Barrett's ashes. He was a good man. Not many warriors grow to a fine old age. Thank you for bringing this to me. I'll make sure he gets his rights. Here, for your trouble. Life is far too short, my friend. Don't waste it.
What is it, Elf?
I can't believe we let provincials like you wander Skyrim.
Have any questions? Well met. Unlike my brother, I've no dislike of strangers. Met lots of them while I was a Stormcloak. I was once, but not anymore. I was wounded in a skirmish up near Windhelm. This was years ago, mind you. Now maybe I don't pick up a blade in Ulfric's name no more, but I still hold with his ideals. Skyrim is Nordland, and we ought to rule it. We don't need no help from the Empire on that count. His name's Bolin. He's the one who works the lumber mill down by the river. If you meet him, don't expect much in the way of conversation. He ain't one for talking, especially with folk he don't know. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Steal anything from my shop and you'll regret it.
I suppose it's too much to ask that these bandits will just hand the Golden Claw over if we ask them nicely.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Ever been to Markarth? Some say it was built by the dwarves. I don't believe a word of it though.
Need a trained war dog? Fierce. My family's been doing it for years. You need one out in the Reach. Don't want to be alone when some Forsworn comes swinging. I personally trained a whole litter for the Jarl. That reminds me, I was gonna deliver some dog food to the keep. Spiced beef, their favorite. Wow, look at you. Thanks. Take it to Voada. She handles all the dogs for the Jarl. Don't fall. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
How are the new breeds getting along with my dogs?
Haven't attacked each other yet. Good a sign as any.
Blood and silver are what flows through Markarth. That's what they say about this place. Charming, isn't it?
First time in Markarth, traveler? Take my advice. You see anything, don't get involved. The city guard will take care of it.
Markarth does seem to roll off the tongue better, don't you think?
See? There you go, getting involved. Don't ask too many questions in Markarth. Safer for everyone that way. Head on in. Keep your nose clean, and you won't have any problems with us.